Hare Krishna, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, entitled Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy, text number 22. Please repeat. Soyam samasta jagatam suhurde ka atma Satve nayan nrityate bhagavan bhagena Tenaiva me drishamanusprashatad Srakshami purvavadidam pranata priyosau. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Let the Supreme Lord be merciful towards me. He is the one friend and soul of all living entities in the world, and He maintains all for their ultimate happiness by His 6 transcendental opulences. May He be merciful towards me so that I, as before, may be empowered with the introspection to create, for I am also one of the surrendered souls who are dear to the Lord. Purport. The Supreme Lord, Purushottama, or Sri Krishna, is the maintainer of all, in both the transcendental and material worlds. He is the life and friend of all because there is eternally natural affection and love between the living entities and the Lord. He is the one friend and well-wisher for all, and is one without a second. The Lord maintains all the living entities everywhere by 6 transcendental opulences, for which He is known as Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma prayed for His mercy so that He might be able to create the universal affairs as He did before. Only by the Lord's causeless mercy could He create both material and spiritual personalities like Marichi and Narada respectively. Brahma prayed to the Lord because he is very much dear to the surrendered soul. The surrendered soul knows nothing but the Lord, and therefore the Lord is very affectionate towards him. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is one of the most beautiful purports and verses and sections. So I want to thank all of you for coming to hear Bhagavatam class for the morning program on a Sunday. Thank you so much for coming. So today we'll discuss these prayers of Brahmaji, very beautiful prayers, and I'm especially fascinated by this sentence. There are many points here, but I want to elaborate and discuss on the last sentence that Prabhupada writes in this purport, which is very beautiful. The surrendered soul knows nothing but the Lord, and therefore the Lord is very affectionate towards him. So today I want to discuss about this theme on affection. So a devotee has affection for the Lord, and the Lord also has affection for the devotee. So affection in Sanskrit is known as sneha. Srila Prabhupada is writing here that a devotee has affection, surrender to the Lord, and the Lord has affection. So basically, the word affection is a synonym for love. Whenever we say affection, we are also meaning love, and love means affection, like that. But when we use the word affection particularly, then there is expression involved. See, love, there may not be an expression in love always, but affection actually means expressing feelings. When we express feelings, then that is affection. See, love, I don't want to get into technical part. Love and affection are same, and it will remain same only, but just little difference I have to explain. So that, because many of us feel sometimes, I don't have love for the Lord. You feel like that? Many feel like that. So no problem. At least if we develop affection, then one day we'll develop love also. So although it is same, love is a deeper principle. Love is much more deeper than affection. Love is when there is, it's broader concept where there is commitment, there is sacrifice. And love is more enduring than affection. Love is something which is like, it is not based on mood, circumstances. It's like very deep. Love is very deep. But affection means it's expression. Affection is generally got to do with expression. like warmth, care, kindness, touch. All those things, they come in affection, smiling at devotees. So even without deep commitment, there can be affection, isn't it? Are you getting it? Like, even you may not have deep commitment in a relationship, but we can always have, like, for example, you meet a child in the temple. You can always give affection. Or, when you hug a friend, you give him love, give him affection. And without being romantic, there can be affection. So it's basically feeling. And love is deeper connection. And many of us, if you are feeling, I don't have that deep love for Krishna, no problem. We can begin with expressing affection. Which means, like when you come in front of deities, we can express joy. Happily we can express. Or like kirtan, we can show Srila Prabhupada, I'm happy, I'm joyful, I have affection for you. Like that. And kind words when we speak to other devotees. And if you see in ISKCON, this affection element is very strong. You'll see, I've gone to many of these. If you go to holy places, Puri, Vrindavan, Mayapur, and when you meet, or even other holy places like South India, many of these local people, they tell me that ISKCON people, you all have a lot of affection for the Lord. You see the devotees, the way they go and take darshan, they go running. That eagerness, they don't see in their local areas. When devotees go, they'll go running. Sometimes it becomes bad also. We push others and all that. But in general, devotees have a lot of affection for the Lord. They come with excitement, special darshan, they'll cheer loudly, Hari Bol. You see that Hari Bol cheering? All of that is an expression of affection. And people are perceptive. They can see outside, hey, Hare Krishna wale thoda bahut pyar se. There is rasa in ISKCON basically. Devotees are joyful like that. So this longing, this eagerness, this enthusiasm is what constitutes affection. So the essence of this purport is, when we come in front of Krishna, we should have this affection. Then bhakti will make complete sense. Love of Krishna will also come. This Srila Prabhupada very clearly said, we should not be sentimental. There should be commitment. That is love. Agreed. Prabhupada has always said that. But in some places, like in today's purport, there are many places actually, where Srila Prabhupada talks about affection, sneha. He talks about it in many places because he says expression is also important. So if you love your family members, you will be committed, you will do a lot of things for the family. But sometimes the family expects you to express also. That affection also has to be there. But most important is commitment. Like I was remembering, as I read this purport, I was scribbling some points. So I remembered 1.8 Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, when Krishna is leaving Hastinapur and going to Dwarka. So Kunti has offered prayers. Everything is done. Now Krishna is going. Pakka. Ho gaya. Just is boarding the chariot. You know what happens? Yudhishthir Maharaj stops him. Yudhishthir Maharaj is in great distress. He is in depression that time. Because he is feeling guilty that he is responsible for all the people who were killed in Mahabharata war. So he is extremely distressed. You can relate to this because we also go through distress. Anybody here doesn't have any distress, then you are not part of this material world. You have popped out of the spiritual world. So we all have distress. So Yudhishthira Maharaj had distress. But you know what he did? Premna Agya Nivaritha. That last line of that verse says, with affection, he held Krishna's hand and said, Krishna, please wait. He smilingly, affectionately he said. He didn't go crying. He was not miserable. He was not beating his chest. Krishna, please stay for some more time. So there, what I loved the best was the purport there. Very beautiful purport, Prabhupada writes. So I don't remember the verse number. Later on, I just came for the class. I wrote some points. But I remember the purport where Prabhupada says, no one can make Krishna stay anywhere. Nobody can do Dadagiri with Krishna. Right? Krishna, why? Why? Because Krishna is supremely independent. Nobody can order. So Prabhupada says Krishna is supremely independent, but simple request of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Krishna could not refuse. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj had affection, sneha, pyar. And then Prabhupada says, and Krishna is conquered by loving affection. And interestingly, he was in distress, but he expressed affection. This is very, very, very important for devotees. See, when we are in front of Krishna, no, we are supposed to laugh, smile, be happy. So in DT worship, when we go for DT worship, the pujari, first before we enter the altar, we can't be going morose. We have to smile. We have to raise our hands. We have to say, Radha Gopinath ki jai. And then we enter the altar. However miserable you are outside. Because that's the way we show our affection to Krishna. Like, I don't know if you've gone to Nandagaon in Vrindavan. When you enter that place, you will see the pujaris, what they tell you. As soon as enter, the pujaris will say, Tali bajao, haso, ha, 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 ha. They make you laugh. You seen that? The pujaris do that. Haso, tali bajao, haso. Because Krishna is there. Krishna is a small baby there. Let him become happy to see you expressing love, affection to Krishna. So that's the mood. But many times, devotees, we are miserable. I agree, we all are miserable. But then when we come here, we forget that we have come to Krishna. We continue to be miserable. Like, I was doing a preaching program many years ago in Borivali, youth preaching. I don't know, I didn't want to say this, but I bol deta hu. There was this boy, his name was Vibhishan, very nice boy. He used to always be miserable. Matlab, maybe he was okay at home, but the point is his face, his structure was such that he always appeared to be depressed. Would always be like, so and he would sit right in the front, classmate right in the front, and would be like, and when giving class, it was jarring, and somebody is like that, na? So it took me a few weeks, and then I got used to it. Then I felt, ठीक है, इसको सहन कर लेते हैं थोड़ा. Just like he is tolerating my class, let me tolerate his. He's literally frowning. So then I got used to it. So one day I called Gaurang Prabhu for I mentioned the name. I wanted to say I called a senior speaker. When you don't prepare, this is what happens. All gadbad happens. So Gaurang Prabhu came. So I didn't give any orientation to Gaurang Prabhu. All youth, young boys are there in the class. So Gaurang Prabhu began the class. And I was sitting in the audience after introducing him, and I could clearly see Gaurang Prabhu also becoming uncomfortable because he is giving class and suddenly looks at him and it's not very comfortable. So after some time, Gaurang Prabhu said, "Raha nahi gaya." He said, "Kya naam hai aapka?" He looked at him. "What is your name?" "Vibhishan." "Arey thoda smile karo." Gaurang Prabhu just couldn't take it, Thoda khush raho, smile karo. And he is not smiling even then. Gaurang Prabhu said, "Arey Ravan kab ka mar gaya Vibhishan." Khush raho. And like you are all laughing, everybody laughed. And he's still like this only. See, he's a nice boy. I'm just saying, ऐसा क्या करे अभी होता है ना, सबका एक psychophysical एक वो होता है. But the point I'm saying is when we come in front of Krishna, we are supposed to be happy, smiling, give affection to Krishna. Although we may be going through our own problems, because problems किसको नहीं है. Material world means suffering. So this is a very nice section in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servant? Govinda. And Govinda was earlier servant of who? Who is Ishwarapuri? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru. So Ishwarapuri tells Govinda, you go and become servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now Govinda comes. Now this is not easy. Govinda, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is accepting who as servant? Somebody who was his guru's servant. Are you getting this? So he becomes his servant. It's a long pastime. I'm just coming to the essence of affection part. So at that time, there is a beautiful conversation between Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, how come your Guru Maharaj Ishwarapuri accepted Govinda as his servant? Because during those days, India, there was a lot of caste system. So Govinda was in a Shudra caste. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, how did Ishwarapuri is a great Brahman, how did he accept Govinda, who is a Shudra, as his personal servant? How did he do that? So that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says two very beautiful verses. First he says, Ishwarera kripa jati kuladina mane Ishwaras kripa. Lord's mercy, Ishwarera kripa Jati kula adi na mane. It doesn't care about your birth, your caste, nothing. And what is the proof of this? He gives an example. Ishwarera kripa jati kuladi na mane vidurera ghare Krishna karena bhojane. In Vidura's house, Krishna took prasad. This means Krishna's mercy is causeless. It doesn't depend on birth, caste, nothing. Now you may say, Acha, causeless mercy means what? कुछ cause नहीं है. Just इच्छा हो गया, mercy दे दिया. So somebody may say, Acha, Krishna's mercy is causeless. Does that mean it is like lottery system then? चलो इसको आज mercy दे देते हैं, इसको mercy दे देते हैं. Is it whimsical? I'm asking you, if Krishna's mercy is causeless, does it mean it is arbitrary, whimsical? No? All of you are saying no? Then how is it causeless? It could be. It is causeless, but it is not arbitrary. There is something which a devotee has, which Krishna notices. And that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Sneha lesha peksha matra Sri Krishna kripara. Sri Krishna's kripa will come when you have Sneha lesha. Lesha matlab? थोड़ा सा. Sneha lesha peksha matra. बस थोड़ा सा प्रेम रखो बस. And then what will happen? Please repeat this verse. Sneha lesha peksha matra. Sri Krishna kripara. Sneha vasha hana kare. Swatantra achara. So if you have little sneha, Krishna gives mercy. Now I have another question. Why does Krishna give so much mercy if you have little sneha? Even if you have little affection, why should Krishna give so much mercy to someone who has even little affection? Krishna loves you. That is one. Also, the main reason is in the second line which I just now chanted. Sneha vasha hana kare. Lord is controlled by affection. Whenever he sees devotee as affection, Lord gets controlled. Sneha vasha hana kare. Swatantra achar. Are you seeing this? There's a paradox here. On the one hand, it is said Sneha Vasha is controlled by affection, and the last word says Swatantra Achar. Lord is fully independent. This is an amazing paradox. Swatantra Achar, but controlled by affection. This is the beauty of Krishna. It's not contradictory. It is just who he is. He loves you. He loves us. And in that purport, there's another beautiful statement Srila Prabhupada says. He says, service to Krishna can be rendered in one of the two ways, either with awe and veneration or with affection, loving affection. And Prabhupada says, now this is Prabhupada's words, as it is I am repeating. Prabhupada says, when service is rendered with affection, mercy is involved. But when service is rendered with awe and veneration, Srila Prabhupada says, it is doubtful if Krishna's mercy is actually involved. I'll repeat. It is doubtful if Krishna's mercy is actually involved. You will say, Hare Prabhuji, what is this? Prabhupada said we should worship Radha Krishna in Lakshmi Narayan mood, awe and reverence. Yes, Prabhupada says that. But in this purport, Prabhupada is saying like this. Why? To make a point. Basically, don't have binary thinking, 0 or 1. ये वो सही है तो ये गलत है, ऐसा नहीं है, दोनों सही. In this purport, Prabhupada's mood is, he's imploring us, he's appealing to us, अरे affection रखो, प्यार करो भगवान से. Are you getting it? So like, that's why he's saying, when there is affection, mercy is involved. When we serve with awe and veneration, can repeat after me? I'll say this sentence in. When service is rendered with awe and veneration, it is doubtful if Krishna's mercy is actually involved. this is awe and reverence is very, very important. Don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying, yahan pe wo ras hai abhi. We are in this mood that we want to have affection for Krishna. Because, awe and reverence is also sweet, because it is a sign that we respect Krishna. And it is a sign that we are taking the process seriously. So, nothing wrong in that. In the third canto, we find Shukdev Goswami telling Parikshit Maharaj that Parikshit Maharaj, you are very lucky. You are born in a family which controlled Krishna by their affection. Yadvayam mantra kridho Bhagavan Akileshwara Pauravendra griham hitva praviveshat masat kritam. He says, Hare, Krishna went as mantri. Yadvayam mantra kridvo. He went as a minister. He went as a messenger. He is Bhagavan Akileshwara. But he became a messenger for your family, for your grandparents. And when he went there, Pauravendra griham hitva, he gave up Chappan Bhog. He gave up royal welcome of Duryodhana. And what did he do? He entered your grandparents' house, Praviveshat Masat Kritam. He entered that house as if it was his own house. And there again, Srila Prabhupada writes another powerful purport. He says, Krishna is equal to Vrindavan. Why Krishna and Vrindavan are same? Because in Vrindavan, Krishna gets infinite bliss. So Vrindavan is considered as non-different from Krishna. And the same bliss Krishna experienced in Pandava's house. Therefore, that house is also Vrindavan. And then Prabhupada says that is the power of affection. So when we have affection, so many of you are grihasthas here. So grihasthas, when we have affection, so we say, no, your grihastha house is Vaikunta. We say this house is Goloka. How does that house become Vaikunta, Goloka? When everybody in the family is chanting 192 rounds, is that when it happens? Or is it that if you get up every day in the morning, 5 o'clock, do all the bhajan sadhana, is that when house becomes Vaikunta? No, all that is maybe needed. I'm not denying that. But house becomes Vaikunta when, with all those activities, it is mixed with affection, devotees, that affection that we carry for Krishna. That's what makes the house, even though there will be problems in that house, like every house, every material world, everywhere there is problem. But because of that affection, that place will be beautiful. Like, I was in one grihastha's house. I stayed for 10 days because of my treatment. And that house was close to the treatment center. So I had to go every day morning, come back, like that. So this is many years ago. So I'm not taking his name very consciously because I don't want to embarrass him. So this Prabhuji is pakka Krishna conscious family. So I was sitting, so somebody came to know that I'm in their house. So he came to meet me, took an appointment, and then he came. So Prabhuji, and so this person knew that I'm staying in this grihastha's house. So he brought 2 gifts. He wanted to give me a gift, but he thought he will give him also as a ticket because he's a senior devotee. So he gave me, and he thought I write journals. So he thought I will like a journal. So he got me a notebook and a pen to write journals as a gift. So he gave me, I accepted it. And immediately, as I got that gift, I put it in my bag. And the same gift like that, I gave to this Prabhuji also, Grihastha, whose house I was staying. I'm giving an example right now. Please listen to this carefully. How, when in Grihastha ashram, when you make affection as a center, how your house becomes Vaikuntha. So what did this Grihastha Prabhuji do? When he got that diary and pen, he kept it. And then I observed. So we continued the conversation. This Prabhuji is here and we both are here and talking to him. Both of us got gift. I continued talking to him and I noticed this Prabhuji got up. He walked. Right behind that guest who came was their altar. Dharka. Radha Krishna deities, Gaur Nitai. I saw him walk to the altar and I saw him put that diary and the gift in the altar. And I saw him stand there for some time. And I continued conversing with this Prabhuji and I kept looking at him, kya kar rahe, kar kya rahe? And he stood there and for some time it appeared as if he was shaking his head. And then after a few minutes he came and he joined me. And then when Prabhuji left, I said, Prabhuji, aap kya kar rahe the? What were you doing? He said, I offered I said, you offer? He said, yeah, anything I get, I offer. I said, what do you mean? He said, we buy vegetables or clothes we purchase. We offer to Krishna first. I said, wow, that's a very sweet. I never realized. I had instantly put that thing in my bag. But I realized, wow, this is the way. So then what happened? Then after some time, it was lunchtime. So we were taking lunch. So Mataji had arranged lunch. So I was about to take prasad. So then Mataji said, that Prabhuji told his wife, Mataji, कि अरे वो दवाई किधर है? So then she said, वो दवाई उधर है. And then he said that strip was over. अरे वो नया पैकेट किधर है? So then he went searching. And in one bag it was there. He put, very nonchalantly happening. Huh? This is happening very casually. He picked it up and he came to the table to take the medicine. But before coming to the table, he again went to the altar. He put that medicine in front of the altar. And I realized, wait, medicine bhi dawai bhi Bhagwan ko khila raha hai. So I didn't say anything. So then he came back after some time and then he took the medicine and then he started the prasad. So after prasad I said, Prabhu, medicine bhi aap offer karte ho? Bhagwan bimar rehte hai kya? And then he became very sheepish. Oh, sorry, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए ना. So, but क्या करूँ प्रभु, हमको थोड़ा वो. The way he was saying it, there was so much innocence. There was so much sweetness. I said, no, it's okay. You can offer medicines also, no problem. Because he was genuinely, I could see a lot of affection for Krishna in that house. See, this is most important. Many times, now we are in an institution, right? ISKCON is an institution. Temple has policies, rules, systems, departments. Is it important or not? Yes. 100%. Otherwise, in the name of affection, we will all do manoratena satidhavato by our mind will run riot. So we need systems, policies. But the foundation is affection. And in the periphery, the center is affection, love. In the periphery, surrounding is rules, systems. Are you getting it? Because then rules will make sense. Otherwise, let's say the center is rules and affection is in the periphery. What will happen? After some time, वो periphery से निकल जाएगा वो. Affection will go away. Affection will evaporate. So we as a community, we should know that affection is the center of a community, family, every relationship. And systems, policies are also needed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this very beautifully in the Madhya Leela while delivering Pratap Rudra Maharaj. This is very beautiful. Because there the same challenge comes. Rules, policies are more important or love? Sometimes people say, Arey Prabhuji, utna rules bata diya, pyar se bolna chahiye tha. Pyar is, everybody is looking for love. But the problem with love is, how much ever you give, sometimes some people don't feel satisfied. That is there. So we need policies, systems. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching there a very beautiful section that affection is most important and rules and regulations are there to ensure that things are smooth. So this is the story of Pratap Rudra Maharaj. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not meet him. He is a king. He wants mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was not just reluctant to meet the king. He vehemently opposed meeting the king. Please understand, there is a difference. Reluctant matlab, अरे नहीं मिलना है, राजा है, नहीं मिलना है. Vehemently opposed matlab, no, I will never meet him. Raja Kala Sarpakar. Mahaprabhu says he is a black poisonous snake. Mahaprabhu uses very strong words. And who is Pratap Rudra Maharaj? Very sincere devotee. Internally, Mahaprabhu loves him. And if you read the whole pastime, it's like a movie. In the end, happy ending. Mahaprabhu gives him a lot of mercy, but we are not discussing that part now. We are discussing the section where externally Mahaprabhu is feigning anger. No, I will not give him mercy. Don't talk about him. He opposes. And earlier, Pratap Rudra Maharaj had approached his minister, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And you know what Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told him? No way. Mahaprabhu will not meet you. The mantri is telling, the guru is telling the king, Arey nahi hoga, don't meet him. But he is determined. And Bhattacharya tells him, Virakta sannyasi te ho, rahe na nirjane. He is Virakta sannyasi, he stays alone. Virakta sannyasi te ho, rahe na nirjane. Swapne he na kare raja darshane. Even in his dream, he will not meet you. It can be so discouraging. But Prataprudra Maharaj is determined to get mercy. And you know what he does? He tells the devotees that I want mercy of the Lord. And I will give up my kingdom. He says a very beautiful verse. Please repeat after me. Yadi more kripana Koribe Gaura Hari Rajya Chadi Yogi Hoila Hoibe Bihari. Mahaprabhu is saying, if Kripa, if I don't get Kripa, if Gaur Hari doesn't give me Kripa, then I will become Bhikari. I will give up everything. So everybody is astonished. No, the king is so serious. They go and request Mahaprabhu, please, please give him mercy. Now Mahaprabhu internally wants to give, but वो होता है ना एक रस है प्यार वाला, नहीं देना क्या, नहीं मिलना है उसको. So the devotee say, please, please. You know what Mahaprabhu tells? If you again request, I will leave Jagannath Puri. I will go away to Katak. You will never see my face again. Oh, no, stay here. So then they are making plan how to make Mahaprabhu agree to meet Prataprudra Maharaj. They are racking their brains. They are not able to understand. Finally, they make a master plan. Nityanand Prabhu, Jagadanand, they all sit together. They make a plan. They say, what we will do, we will go there. We will not tell the Lord to meet king. What we will do, you start. They make plan like that. You start glorifying the king. And then you say this point. And I will say this point. Like that, all of us will glorify the king without telling the Lord to meet the king. The Lord will understand. So they all pakka plan. They do rehearsal also. Everything, because Lord is very grave. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to stay where in Jagannath Puri? What is his house called? Gambhira. Gambhira matlab grave. Lord never did time pass. So they are there. So all the devotees are sitting. Now in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you can't do all this drama baji. So they are looking at each other. Start, girls. They have to start, na? Somebody has to start the whole drama. They are not able to start. They are nervous. Start. So finally, Nityanand Prabhu, he looks at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, "Oh Lord, please give your mercy to King Prataprudra Maharaj." हो गया सब, वो drama खत्म हो गया उधर ही. Because Mahaprabhu says, before Nityanand Prabhu said, why Nityanand Prabhu said that? Because Mahaprabhu looked at everyone and said, there is something you guys want to say, but you're not saying. What are you up to? Then they understand, अरे Mahaprabhu को समझ गया. So then Nityanand Prabhu says, अभी कुछ फायदा नहीं, घुमा फिरा के. But then Mahaprabhu says, no, I will not, because I'm a sannyasi and there is a rule, there is system, there is policy. Sannyasi should not meet worldly people and is a worldly materialistic person. I will not meet. So they are all quiet. Then Mahaprabhu becomes soft-hearted. Mahaprabhu says, I will not meet him ever. But if Damodar Pandit says, then I may consider. Now, who is Damodar Pandit? I have to give you a little context. Damodar Pandit was very simple-hearted, so simple-hearted that he could chastise the Lord also. मतलब जो दिल में था वो बाहर बोल देता था. You should never duplicitous. Inside, outside, same. Like one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a lot of affection to one small boy whose mother was a widow. And she was very beautiful. So Damodar Pandit told the boy, don't come and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the boy would keep coming. So finally Damodar Pandit lost his cool. He told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is this? You are a young sannyasi, handsome sannyasi, and you are giving a lot of affection to this young boy whose mother is very beautiful and she is a widow. So if you keep giving time to this boy, what people will think? That you have some affair with this Mataji. It's not correct. People will speculate. People will say wrong things about you and I cannot take it. You should not do this. Can you imagine telling this to the Supreme Lord? He was so simple-hearted. Damodar Pandit was very sweet, simple-hearted. He had a lot of love for the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught 4 principles through 4 devotees. He taught tolerance, simplicity, humility, and sense control. These 4 things he taught through 4 devotees. He taught tolerance through Haridas Thakur. And he taught sense control through Ramananda Rai. He taught humility through Sanatan Goswami, and simplicity through Damodar Pandit. So then Mahaprabhu looks at everyone and says, Damodar Pandit will chastise me, basically, because Damodar Pandit will follow all rules, no? System, pakka, policy, hey, you are sannyasi, you are meeting king. So if Damodar Pandit allows, I will consider. So everybody looks at Damodar Pandit. Are? And Damodar Pandit says something very beautiful. Damodar kahe tumi swatantra Ishwar, कर्तव्य सब तुम्हारा गोचर. अरे आप तो स्वतंत्र ईश्वर है. What is kartavya, what is akartavya, what is to be done, what is not to be done, you know very well. But the most important thing, my dear Lord, Damodar Pandit smiles and he says something very beautiful. He says, Yadyapi Ishvara tumi parama swatantra. Although, Yadyapi means, although you are Ishvara and what? Parama Swatantra. Parama Swatantra matlab supremely independent. But you have one problem. What is that problem? You can repeat this verse. Yadyapi Ishvara tumi Parama Swatantra Tatapi Svabhava Havo Prema Paratantra. Tatapi स्वभाव, आपका स्वभाव क्या है? प्रेम परतंत्र. But you are who you are? Parama Swatantra. But you are Prema Paratantra. You are supremely independent, but you are controlled by love, by affection. So therefore, the essence, the moral of the story is we all have to add affection. Ena kena prakarena manha Krishna niveshe. Drupa Goswami says, somehow connect with Krishna, somehow bring affection. See, we have so many activities we are performing, all that is okay. But below all that activities we are doing is the big world of emotions. And there we have to invoke affection. See, the services we are doing externally, that is the tip of the iceberg. You see an iceberg? वो टिप छोटा सा रहता है. Below the water, actual ice can be sometimes, that ice can be as big as a country of Denmark. It can be so big, but top you will see only little. Similarly, all the activities we are doing, this is all okay. Little bit we are doing services, but we are all emotional beings. Let us admit, human beings are emotional beings. There's a lot of world of emotions inside. So let us purify it and bring affection somehow. Tree may be very attractive, but below the surface there is roots which are expanding wide. So we have to somehow add affection. And even children can, childhood only we can learn. Srila Prabhupada, when he was a young boy, you know this story, Prabhupada says, when he used to fly kite, his sister and he used to fly kites, and he would pray, Krishna, please, please let my kite fly higher. So from there only that, that connection with Krishna was there. I saw in Gopal's Garden High School, once one boy was running for his exams, and I've said this many times, it's like amazing how children also can cultivate affection for Krishna. So this child was running for the exam. He had this exam writing board on his left hand, pen box and writing board. On his right hand, he had Jagannath DT. I said, hey, Ruk, where are you going? He said, Prabhuji, exam, I'm getting late. No. I said, wait, what is this? He said, Jagannath, writing board. I said, why are you carrying Jagannath for exam? He said, Prabhuji, very simple. Whenever I have exam, I get Jagannath from... Actually, his parents did not know because they have two altars. One altar in his room and one in the main hall. So, uska room mein jo Jagannath hai, usko uta ke wo kidnap karke he gets for exam. He says, when I get exam, I sit in the table and as soon as the question, I put Jagannath in front of me. As soon as I get question paper, I first show question paper to Jagannath. And then I write the answers. And after the answer is over, before submitting the answer sheet, I show the whole answer sheet to Jagannath. Dekh lo baba, sambhal lo mujhe. And then I submit. I said, wow. Then I told his parents later, hey, your son does this. They said, really? They didn't know it. The parents did not know. See, I'm just saying how creative. The child was so creative to connect his emotions to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada also used to worship Radha Govind deities when he was a small boy at home, because he was seeing his father doing worship. If I also want Radha Krishna deities. So his father gave him deities. So he started worshipping. And after some days, after when he grew up, Abhay Charan, he went to college. He got involved in politics and independence movement. So he didn't have time for worshipping Radha Krishna. So he packed them in a box and kept them in the cupboard. And he was doing his debating and all of that. One day, that Radha Krishna deities came in Abhay's dream, Prabhupada's dream, and said, Abhay, why have you kept us locked in the cupboard? We want to be worshipped by you. Then Prabhupada woke up and resumed the worship. This is the point of affection. Because he was doing that with affection, Krishna was conquered. Krishna reciprocated with him. Saratya parshada sevana sakya dautya virasananugamana stavana pranaman snigdeshu pandushu jagat pranatim cha vishnor bhaktim karoti nripati charana ravinde. So Parikshit Maharaj is going in his kingdom and he hears how Krishna is amazing. What does Krishna do for the Pandavas? Saratya, he became a chariot driver. Saratya Parshada Sevana Sakya Dautya, he became messenger, Sarati, all of those things. Virasana, he became a lap, he became a pillow for Arjuna to put his head and sleep. Virasananu Gamana Stavana Pranaman, and Krishna would offer obeisances to Yudhishthir. Why Krishna was doing all of this with the Pandavas? Snigdeshu, because they had affection for Krishna. Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim cha Vishnur. Sukadeva Goswami is clarifying, he is Vishnu, but he has become completely controlled, that he is becoming a pillow. Bhaktim karot nripati charana ravinde. Just remembering this quality of Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj was crying, torrents of tears, and his love for Krishna increased more and more. So therefore, this is very important. The examples, Yudhishthira Maharaj is in distress, but he is approaching the Lord with affection. There are many examples like this. Sanatana Goswami was planning to commit suicide. We are not getting into, suicide is bad and pure devotee, this is a pastime, but we are not getting into that. But I'm just saying, at one point of time, Sanatana Goswami was contemplating suicide. He was so miserable because his body had a lot of boils and he was feeling that he was doing disservice to the Lord. But because of his affection, he continued to have affectionate dealings with the Lord. The Lord would forcefully embrace him and he was trying to go away from the Lord. Arjuna was in depression. See, the Vyasdev was despondent. Vyasdev, Arjuna, Sanatana Goswami, Yudhishthira Maharaj, they all were low. But because they had affection, life became auspicious. Wow. See, when we go into depression, life becomes more miserable. When pure devotees go into depression, Bhagavad Gita comes. Vyasdev went into despondency, Bhagavatam came. Arjuna went into despondency, Bhagavad Gita came. Sanatana Goswami and all of these devotees, when they get into despondency, auspiciousness, because their operating system is different. Like in your phone, either it is Android or it is what? iPhone, iOS. Dono ek mein nahi hota generally. See, what is your operating system? Is it service to Krishna or is it enjoying? If it is service mode, there will be affection. And that is what seals everything. See, Srila Prabhupada's life was not easy. See, I'll tell you one example of Prabhupada. How, because of his affection, Krishna was conquered. If you see externally, Prabhupada's life was going through a huge roller coaster. Last class I gave, I spoke a lot about Prabhupada. So I will not get into all the details of Prabhupada's life. But one example I want to give of his children. He had 8 children. 3 of them died young. So out of 5 children, none of them were appreciating Srila Prabhupada except the youngest one. So Prabhupada got married in the year 1915. Okay. He left home 1951. So he was in Grihastha ashram for how many years? 36 years he was a responsible Grihastha. Okay. Now 36 years so when he left home, anyway, he came, then he came to America in 1966. So look at his family, his children. Now, father will want his children, always there will be love and affection. But his oldest child was Sulakshmana. She was a daughter. She got married, she was born in 1918 or 19, I think. So when Prabhupada left home, she was already 32, 33 years old. She already was married. She was in Kolkata. She had her own family. So she had nothing to do with the house dynamics that was happening at Prabhupada's place. So her life was out. She had disconnected from Srila Prabhupada, the oldest daughter. The second, I spoke about him last time, Prayagraj, who had a lot of mental issues. He fell in love with a girl, and it was very painful for Prabhupada when he discovered that he is picking up food from the gutter and from the garbage can, and he's living like a reckless, homeless person in Kolkata. That broke Prabhupada's heart. Third was Mathura Mohan. He was around 19, 20 years old when Prabhupada left home. So when Prabhupada left home, the entire responsibility of the house came on him. So he became very resentful, very angry, and he was very bitter towards his own father, Srila Prabhupada. Then his younger sister, his fourth child of Prabhupada, was Bhakti Lata. So she was around 13, 14 when Srila Prabhupada left home. So she was kind of traumatized. She just was so hurt that she never got married in her life. And as she got older, she moved into the house of her youngest brother, Vrindavan Chandra, who was a very young boy, was I think 8 or 9 years old when Prabhupada left him, 10 years old I think. So he was the only one who was very appreciative of what Srila Prabhupada did. In fact, he came here on Sunday Feast program once. I remember His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj welcomed him and he spoke appreciating his father, Srila Prabhupada's contribution and Krishna consciousness. So why I'm saying this is, Srila Prabhupada had such crisis, but he was always offering loving devotional service to Krishna. So when you see devotees in ISKCON who have spent a lot of years, they're happy, smiling, don't be in this illusion that they had a very smooth life. Or don't think, "Arey, mast life hai yaar, kya mera bhi life aisa hona chahiye." No, their life is nice. See, they are nice devotees for the last 40 years. Doesn't mean that they had no problems. It just means that they got a lot of mercy, and that mercy came because they had affectionate dealings with Krishna. Because of that affectionate connection with Krishna, have you seen some devotees who have been in the movement for more than 40, 50 years? They have no cynicism, no criticism. They're always blissful. That is because they have affectionate relationship with Krishna. That is the cause. It's not that they had no problems. Any devotee you see who is very happy and has spent decades means he has been nicely purified. You don't get that position just like that. Like when I was a young boy, in our colony where I grew up, very famous karate teacher used to come, South Bombay ka number 1, Vispy Kapadia. So this guy used to come and teach karate. And so we had tennis courts in our colony, 3 tennis courts. So we kids used to play, I was a teenager, we used to play football, cricket in those tennis courts during rainy season. And in one corner, Vispy Kapadia would conduct karate classes. So we would watch that from far. One day there was an interesting spectacle which just made us stop our play. Because one young man was being beaten by 5-6 people, all karate. They were wearing karate dress and they were kicking him. And he was trying to negotiate, but he couldn't. And he was beaten black and blue. His hair was disheveled, everything. Part. He was getting so badly beaten. And for us, it was like watching a movie live. We were enjoying it at his expense. हमको मजा आ रहा था. अरे, we stopped playing and we were watching. अरे, मस्त बुलाई कर रहा है, मस्त मार रहा है. And then after the whole thing, everybody left. But this young man was so exhausted by that fight. So he sat on that bench and he was drinking water, and we came close to him and we were watching him. We were actually enjoying that misery. Anyway, that happened. He went home. Next day, again we were playing cricket there, and suddenly we saw the same Vispy Kapadia, the entire team, and that man also we saw, and he was beaming. And there was some felicitation program happening. We stopped. We said, "Kya chal raha hai?" That fellow was awarded black belt. Then we asked, क्या हो रहा है? उसको black belt मिल रहा है. So I was a young boy. मेरे mind में क्या घुस गया कि बहुत मार खाने के बाद black belt मिलता है. So that's how. And I remember when I joined the temple, when I came to ISKCON, I was introduced to one devotee, and I remember somebody said, "I'm so and so." And then when he was being introduced, I was told he's karate black belt. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, "बहुत मार खाया रहेगा ना." I don't know how black belt is given, but I'm just saying in my mind, oh, he got beaten so badly, so today he got black belt. So when you see some devotee, oh, very senior, very bold, Hari bol, wow, powerful, so much, such big position, such senior devotee, so blissful. Well, he got that black belt not like that. He had to go through his own journey. So we will go through our challenges. I was in Amritsar last week. Our very dear godbrother Raghunath Prabhu, who's been a devotee since 1981. That's donkey's years. I mean, how many years? 44 years. 44 years. And he was very friendly with me. We had prasad together every day. And I told him, what is that one realization you want to share with everybody? He said, minimum 3. I said, what do you minimum? Minimum 3 crises you have to go through. 3 cyclones minimum. But just keep having affection for Krishna, you will survive minimum 3 cyclones in life. So I was like, wow. So nobody has practiced Krishna consciousness cheaply. So there is no, that susukam kartum abhyayam is not simply happiness, there is no misery. There is misery, but because devotees have affection, then Krishna reciprocates and there is mercy and we feel life, chala yaar, tolerate kar lete hain, few more years. And then we are happy serving Krishna. So I want to pause here at this moment. If there is any comments or questions, we could take some and then we will end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Prabhu. I'll repeat the question.
So it's actually clarification. In the beginning of the class, you mentioned that Brahmaji got Marichi also, and then Narad Muni, both the sides. So I was faced with this question, and I didn't have the right answer. That how come Krishna is giving the positive souls also, and then there is negative souls also, and what should be our understanding? Is it the negative people who are in that space are also created so that we understand the duality, or what is the right understanding?
Yeah, that's what I generally would believe. It is to teach us, to educate us. That's what I would take it. But maybe you can ask someone who's more proficient in this technical. Maybe our Pavaneshwar Prabhu can answer this better. Maybe if somebody knows the answer to this question, he's saying how negativity is also. Is it to educate us? Yes. How the Lord has allowed this to be created. Yeah. Also, I many of these things are beyond my bandwidth, but I accept it. Yes, Mataji, you want to answer this question? He's saying Marichi and Narad both are coming from Brahma. So one had a bad experience or bad incident, and one Narad Muni is pure devotee. So how the Lord is allowing both to happen? It should be only good, na? Lord's creation, matlab everything should be good. So she's saying energy has to be both positive and negative. And Lord is energy, and Lord is energetic also. Means He is the source of energy also. He is not only energy. So maybe somebody else, or maybe Pavaneshwar Prabhu can answer your question. Thank you. Anybody else has any comments or questions? Yes, Prabhu. I see a hand there. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Actually, I have a question that if Krishna has mercy on us, does that mean that we have more tolerance?
Yes, if you're able to practice tolerance, means Krishna is very merciful, because it's not easy to tolerate provoking situations. Right? If at your age you are finding tolerance is so difficult, imagine as you get older. Nowadays, because of the smartphones that we have, we just don't know how to tolerate. Like if it's hot, we have AC. In January also you can get mango. No, we don't tolerate. Tolerance has gone down drastically. Like earlier in the long classes, sometimes we used to get bored. We had no choice but to wait and go through that. We had to tolerate that boredom for some time and then again reconnect with the class and feel nourished. Nowadays, if you are distracted in the class even for a few seconds, immediately you can take out the phone and get a dopamine kick. So earlier, just because of tolerance, we got nourishment. The classes would be very long. I remember sometimes Maharaj's classes would be like 4 or 5 hours, and sometimes some of us would fall sleepy, and then we would help each other, and then we would wake up, and then the sleep would go away, and then we would continue to be connected with the class, and we would be present, and overall that would nourish us. So many of us don't know how to embrace pain. We don't know how to live with discomfort. We are always taught to remove discomfort. So if we have affection for the Lord, the Lord's mercy will also come in the form of our willingness to sit with discomfort, sit with boredom, sit with pain, tolerate agitation.
But Prabhuji, if we have such situation, our mind has started to doubt on Krishna that why is this pain leading our mind in such a way? And when we start to doubt on Krishna, how we should solve this situation and how we should confront it?
See, patience, when there is impatience, then doubt comes. See, patience is utsaha nischaya dairyat. One has to be, Krishna conscious results don't come overnight. We have to practice for decades. Like if you plant a seed, you can't keep digging up the soil again and again to see if the plant is growing. You have to continue doing your devotional service and allow. Otherwise, many of us are toxic. In the name of intensity, we want quick results. And that spells our doom. You may be doing a lot of advancement, but because you're not chanting more rounds, you may think you're not advancing. No. See, I'll tell you, there is a devotee who was chanting 16 rounds 5 years ago. Even now he's chanting 16 rounds. And now also he comes to temple, like same thing externally. So he was telling me, Prabhuji, I'm very fallen. Last 5 years, I'm still same. I'm not advanced. I'm not chanting more rounds. He was getting sad. I said, Prabhu, celebrate. Last 5 years, you have made a lot of advancement. He said, how come? I said, do you like to hear and chant? He said, yes, I like to hear Bhagavatam. He hears every day Bhagavatam. He's coming to temple regularly. His responsibilities have increased. He may not be chanting more. The point is, we think our measure of success in bhakti is how we are ticking some boxes. Bhakti is not like that. You just have to go on every day, every week, every month, every year. And then at the time of maybe 30, 40 years, we'll see, yes, I'm glad I'm in Krishna consciousness. Don't jump for immediate results. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
See, sadhana has 3 criteria. Sadhana means spiritual practice has 3 criteria. This is according to Patanjali Muni in Yoga Sutras. Any spiritual practice should have 3 criteria. First, it is performed for a long time. Not 1 year, 2 years. It's long time. Second, no interruption. You can't say that abhi mera exams aa raha hai, now I will not chant, or IPL aa raha hai, I will not chant. No interruption. What are the first 2? Long time project. And no interruption. Every day we have to chant, some rounds, commitment. And third, investing affection or emotions. These 3 are there, then that is spiritual practice. So, your question is answered when you understand the first principle of sadhana. What is that? Lambe race ka ghoda banna hai. Long
Commitment.
Term. Sorry? Commitment, long run. Okay? Thank you. Anybody else has any comment? Yes.
Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, as you mentioned that we should have policies, system and management to run everything smoothly, but foundation should be affection. So my question is while being in the management or in policies, sometimes we need to be strict. Then at the same point, how we can maintain those affection among the devotees?
Yeah, sometimes you have to be strict. So what I understood is, we need to remember the bank example. In a bank, you put deposit in the bank. If you put 10,000 rupees in the bank deposit, can you withdraw 1 lakh rupees? No. If you put 1 lakh rupees, then you can withdraw 10,000 rupees, right? Similarly, human interactions, there is emotional bank account. So when you are kind to someone, when you appreciate, when you love someone, when you serve someone, that is deposit in their emotional bank account. So every day if you keep depositing, then one day when you scold them, that is withdrawal. Right? So you ask yourself, deposit is higher than withdrawal or ulta? So in every relationship you have to see, oh, my deposit is very little, I can't chastise. So you tell someone else to give him feedback. Somebody who have a relationship. That's how relationships work. Sometimes, I'll tell you, but affection is most, when there is affection, there is deposit. And in that affectionate deposit, when there is withdrawal, people don't feel offended. I'll give you a classic example. One ISKCON very senior guru, I will not tell the name, very sweet, is a Grihastha guru. He and his wife came to Chowpatty. I was in the guest reception department. So I took this Mataji and Prabhuji for preaching program. They are bona fide gurus, okay? Prabhuji is guru. He has got a lot of disciples. So he is giving class and I was sitting serving him and his wife is sitting in the chair because she travels with him wherever he goes. He is a guru and he is a preacher. So after the class, the host bought sitaphal juice. So I gave Prabhuji. Prabhuji drank. He liked it. And he said, "Bahut acha hai. Give me one more glass." I said, "Prabhuji, will you take one more?" He said, "Yes, give me one more." And as soon as I got up to go get one more, Mataji, she immediately said, No. बाद में मेरे को झेलना पड़ता है ऐसा problem. One is enough. One glass is enough. And then immediately said, okay, Prabhuji. And I saw it. I was so happy. It was not a disqualification. It was very sweet. See, he was submitting to the will, a higher will, because there is affection, there is care. It was not a bad, it was a very sweet incident. Because affection is controlling. You understanding what I'm saying? So that deposit has to be there, then withdrawal can happen. Like His Holiness Radhanaswami Maharaj was saying in one class, that he went to one billionaire's house. He said, this person is so big that if he makes one phone call, the Prime Minister and Chief Minister will immediately drop everything and listen to him. Maharaj in that class did not mention the name of that person. But he said, he's such a big man, and I was in their house with many other guests, and we were having a long dinner table, and we were taking prasad. He's a very big man, very influential person. And he was sitting next to Maharaj. And in the prasadam serving, there was one particular sweet. So when that person came to serve, for this man, before honoring, he told that server, no, ask. He told him to ask his wife who was standing and managing the serving in the table. Ask her. So then he said, Madam, sir, puch rahe. And then she looked, and then he's asking, can I take one? Maharaj is explaining all this. Can I take one? And then she looked, she considered for some time. She said, ek le lo, only one. And then Maharaj was saying, he quietly said, okay. And he said, he's such a big man. He has so many thousands and thousands of crores of rupees under his control. But to eat one sweet, he had to submit to the will of somebody who loves him. Somebody who has deposited so much in his emotional bank account that withdrawal was easy. In front of everyone, imagine there are so many guests. In front of them, he has to say, no, I cannot take. It's in one sense, you're a big position, but here you're becoming very small. But that smallness was out of love. So in a community, sometimes devotees give harsh feedback. But if we have a loving, affectionate relationships, we will be able to take it as rasa. We'll be able to take it as, inka thoda ras alag hai. Like we have some devotees, they are always angry looking face. But they're doing a lot of seva. But there is a lot of affection. So we have to understand the love language. Sometimes we have a definition of love. We all have one unique, my definition of love could be, love means you should talk to me. Your definition of love could be, if you love me, you should give me gifts. Your definition of love could be, if you love me, you should appreciate me. Like that. Everybody has different definition. So when I give you love, but if it is not according to your definition, you will think I'm not loving you. Are you getting it? So everybody has a different love language. Like one devotee, he loves means he gives you seva. And if your definition of love is अरे बैठ के गप्पे मारो, you will think अरे क्या, he's so unloving. So that's how conflicts happen many times in our spiritual community. Everybody is loving, but we don't know their love language. Like when I joined the ashram, there was one brahmachari, senior, 10 years, 11 years senior to me, and we are not supposed to take service from seniors. We are supposed to serve our seniors. And I was scared of him. He used to always go around like this. And he used to say, and he's from a tough background, hardworking, village background. And I am from the city. So he used to make fun of me angrily. Yeah, पढ़े लिखे लोग नालायक कुछ करते नहीं नखरा है. And he used to say like that, and I used to feel scared of him. So one day I got a neck shoulder pain, spondylitis, and I was like, oh. And he saw, he made that sound and he walked away. I got more scared. But he walked directly to the medical room, bought an ointment, came and sat next to me, and he removed that and started putting it on my shoulder. I said, no, Prabhuji, you're senior, I can't take service from you. And he said, shut up, chup. And for 45 minutes, he was massaging me. I was like, he was going beyond the call of duty. It was not given seva karna hai. And he did that. And then after that, he went. And I was like, oh, he's very loving. Was he not loving? It's just that his style was different. The community mein sabka style thoda alag hai. Some people bluntly tell you something. Some people are very considerate. Some people are very courageous. But maturity means to balance both courage and consideration. Sometimes you have to say the right thing to get the things done. You have to be courageous, but you have to be considerate also. Some people are very considerate. They don't give feedback only. Some people are only courageous. You have to balance. Right? So the essence is deposit. Are you putting enough in the relationship? So when we all dance together in Guru Puja, when we chant, the false ego dissolves because Krishna enters our lives. So if that is the center, then little bit of withdrawal will happen. Because you can't avoid it, it will happen. Because it's dynamic, right? Like when I joined the temple, one of my services was to manage Sunday feast serving, prasadam serving. I was in charge of the prasadam serving and I was so frustrated because Maharaj would do long kirtan and some people who are prasadam bhaktas, they would come immediately, as soon as the kirtan started, they would come for prasadam and they would take prasad and the sweet was always limited item. And after eating prasadam, they would come again for second serving for sweet. And I would be reluctant. I would say, "Arey, upar jo naach rahe hain kirtan mein, they will come after some time. Their sweet is needed for them." So they would say, "Arey, they are getting what they want. They want kirtan. Let us get what we." So then I would give all the sweet. So then after the kirtan, when these devotees would come down, there would be no sweet, and they would get upset with me. "Kya Prabhuji, you are prasadam in charge. No sweet for us. How can you do this?" I said, "Sorry." So the next week, what happened? I didn't give second round to these devotees who are coming. And they got very upset with me. Kya Prabhuji, aisa kya, you can't give us. We come all the way here for prasadam and you can't. So then I went to my in charge. I asked our Gauranga Prabhu, "Prabhuji, am I offending these devotees by not giving them second round prasad?" He said, "Yes, it's an offense. You should give them." I said, "But if I give them, then am I not committing an offense to those devotees who are coming later and they want prasadam?" He said, "Yes, that is also an offense." I said, "Prabhuji, how do I resolve it?" He said, "That is your problem." So what to do? So Radha Gopinath, please help me. So then Krishna gives intelligence. When we sincerely pray, the next Sunday I was there with the prasadam dabba and people would come for sweets, I would smile. "Prabhuji, please." And I would give deliberately very little. And I'd give it slowly and keep smiling at them. Not offend them. Why I'm saying all of this is a dynamic. Community mein aisa hota hai. System, policies are there. Sometimes we have to insist that it is followed. But we have to be kind. We have to be nice. But जब नहीं होता है, हाथ जोड़ के माफी मांगने का. ठीक है? So deposit is more important than withdrawal. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Okay. One last question. पीछे प्रभु जी. I'm sorry, I'm going over time. Just 2 minutes more. Yeah, it's on.
Hare Krishna. Raji, thank you for this very deep class, I would say. you gave the example of your time that you spent with a devotee for 10 days, and you saw a lot of affection in the house. And initially in the class, you mentioned that love is deeper than affection. Like, love that is basically commitment. And affection is how you deal, with love, with the way you smile and the way you speak, etc. And you also mentioned that Srila Prabhupada, the way I saw it is that he had deep affection for the Lord, but for some reason, affectionate relationship with the other people in the family was perhaps not there. And then you mentioned that this devotee who was having a different nature and he massaged you for 45 minutes. Prabhuji, you saw that he had deep affection, but maybe psychophysically he was different from you. So, affection, is it also something that comes because not only spiritual, it is also because of matching of wavelength, matching of psychophysical nature, matching of interests, matching of upbringing, and even people who are not devotees may be affectionate to each other, but they may not have love.
Yeah.
So you also give the example of that devotee, but you saw affection, but will it be easy for you to spend maybe hours and hours with a devotee who is different from you in a psychophysical way? Maybe he has affection. So how does one actually, is it possible to always have affection for everyone? Maybe you are very different from the person and maybe it's not possible to have affection. So how does one, go through this?
The principle is, we can't deny this principle. Friends of birds of same feather flock together. So we cannot avoid that in a community. So we all have a different, we find our group, so to say. But as long as we don't do groupism, as long as we don't do politics, it's natural to have your own, there are like 6 devotees who are from interiors of Andhra Pradesh. And when they joined the ashram, they would always be together and talking to each other because they had that connection, language, culture, prasadam, a particular type of pickle they would share with the others because they know that this fellow would like it. It was very sweet. In fact, we would joke with them, you are 6 Goswamis from Andhra Pradesh. And then one of them left the ashram. Then we would say we are now 5 Goswamis, like that, we would joke like that. So it's natural, Prabhu, because of the certain way we are upbringing and all of that. But as long as we are respectful to everyone, and we have a desire to serve, as long as that is there, because love is anyway deeper. See, there are many people who are very nice. Like I was in US, and if you go in a morning walk in India, people look at you. Saffron, they look at you gravely and defensive. People are very defensive. In America, even strangers look at you, they say, good morning, and they talk to you as if they've known you for many years. And I was walking, one man looks at me and says, lovely day, isn't it? And he starts talking to me as if I am his buddy. They're very nice, but they're not kind. Not all of them are very kind. In the sense, there's a difference between kindness and nice. If you have you take prasad and some palak or some food particle is stuck in your teeth and it is visible and the person in front of you is talking to you nicely. But if he's kind to you, he will tell you, wash your face, wash your mouth, there is food particle stuck. So many of us now, we are nice to others. But we are not generally kind always. In India, I have seen people may not be nice, but they are kind, they are helpful. So many devotees are, because we are brought up in a culture where we're not used to expressing affection. I think many of us have not seen our parents express affection for each other. We know that they love each other. So cultures are different. So we come from different backgrounds. So as long as we appreciate and respect that, and hang around with people we are comfortable with and make deep friendships with each other, in that friendships, when we have affectionate dealings, then we'll be able to experience affectionate relationship with Krishna also. So it's perfectly fine and safe to have relationships with devotees with whom we can get along more naturally. It's perfectly reasonable. Otherwise, we'll become impersonalist. We'll become Mayavadis. So it's okay. But that the humility has to be there. And vulnerability and authenticity has to be there. As long as you're vulnerable and authentic, then we have no grudges against anyone. Like Srila Prabhupada, he's very tired. He's ringing the bell because it is time for his, he wanted orange juice. He called his servant, get me orange juice. So this servant, in India, Indians have this mentality. If they don't have, they'll not say we don't have. They'll try to somehow do jugad. So he could have told Prabhupada, the orange is not there. I'll take, he just, orange. So he went down, he looked for some shop somewhere. This was in Jew pastime. Finally, he got that Musumbi somehow. And Prabhupada kept ringing the bell. And after, I think, 40 minutes, he brought orange juice. First thing Prabhupada told him, I have not eaten anything for 3 days. I'm hungry. And you are taking 300 years to get me orange juice. I don't want this. Take it away. I don't want it. Take it away. He scolded him. But the disciple was intelligent. He knew that Prabhupada gusse mein hai. But he kept the juice there. And he said, yes, yes. He heard Prabhupada chastising him, rascal, ye wo, yes, yes. And he went. And after some time, quietly, Prabhupada drank that juice. And after drinking that juice, then he kept the glass. And the servant understood that Prabhupada must have drunk it. Then after some time, he came to collect the glass. When he came to collect the glass, Prabhupada looked at him. Prabhupada was doing his work. Prabhupada called him and said, see, I am an old man. I sometimes get cranky and irritated because of old age, because of hunger. You please don't feel bad. So that devotee started crying. He said, no, Prabhupada, I felt love. But the point is, we need to see love not simply by the externals. See, when I was using affection in today's class, it was synonymous with love. I mentioned in the beginning also. I just gave initially a little technical difference. But the idea is, we need to focus on that emotion of love. That is the main thing. And yes, we'll not be able to get along with everyone because of our cultural factors and because of so many things. But we can at least be nice to everyone. And we have to be kind to everyone. We have to help everyone as devotees, as Vaishnavas. But intimacy may not be with everyone. That's okay. But as long as we are open and authentic, we are safe. But what happens, because we're not like that, we'll speak about love of Krishna. See, it's easy to speak about love of Krishna than to seek love of Krishna. Because, to seek love of Krishna, you have to be honest. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be surrendered. You have to serve everyone happily. And our ego protests. So we prefer to speak about Krishna Prem. But do you want Krishna Prem? Then we have to serve in the community. Devotees will have different temperament. We have to serve them. And assist them. And when it is too difficult, approach a senior, adjust your services. But this dynamics will always be there because of our psychophysical upbringing, our natures. Will not be comfortable. Everyone will not be comfortable with everyone. That's perfectly natural. Is that okay, Prabhu? Huh? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.